I'm not interested in a lot of the things that were being made with quilting and with applique before. When I came across felt, I was doing mostly acrylic paintings. I was really kind of looking for another process or another material that would kind of say something a little bit more than paint. So I'm sort of coming at it more from like my nostalgia for 90s sports stuff or my fascination with gross rivers in Los Angeles. Depending on the project, like I want to try and really push things forward, so I'm glad to use the sort of traditional techniques, but then I also want to do things that are going to push the envelope forward or enable us to do more or faster or larger. I guess I'm not doing like your traditional craft projects or felt projects that you might buy at the fabric store. I'm a big fan of basketball and football and sports cards. I'm also really interested in my local neighborhood, be it like the vintage signs that you see that are quickly sort of disappearing around here or the Los Angeles River. One thing I really like about making multi-layered pieces is the illusion that you get from being far away, where you can sort of see the thing that's being created with the layers of felt, and then close up, you see the stitching and the layering, and it's almost like two experiences in one. I'm really fascinated with my wife's burgeoning plant collection. And so to start this project, I actually went in and took photos of all the plants that I thought were most interesting. And then I actually used Photoshop to kind of collage them together in a composition. And from there, I can start using the measurements in order to make the final finished felt piece. The first thing is just to roll out the background piece and just measure it out and cut it. So what I'll do a lot of times is I'll take my background piece and then I'll take, like, let's say one of the elements and actually do the whole outline silhouette of it so that I have sort of the basic proportions. I'll pin that to the felt and then I'll cut it out, and I'm placing that directly onto the felt background, and that's where sort of the stickiness of felt kind of helps out, that it stays together. I kind of work on the drawing as I go, and I'm just sort of using the colors to just make patterns for each different color in order to make up all the layers that make the piece. I will do sort of almost like each element separately, layer it together, and then layer all those pieces to create sort of the final artwork. The nature of felt is that they'll kind of stick together a little bit and stay together, and that gives me a little time to sort of tweak it and kind of refine things before I sort of lock it down with some glue. I will sew different elements separately and then kind of sew them all down at once, and I think that kind of also gives a little bit of leeway in terms of being able to change things and modulate the composition a little bit. I kind of have two different methods of sewing. I really like to do hand sewing. I think that the sort of looseness of it kind of keeps the integrity of my sort of initial idea. But also for larger pieces, I'll do machine sewing to, that'll last forever. That's sort of what really combines it and makes it into one thing, is that last sewing part. Once it's sewed down, then it's ready to display. I love what I do. For me, the greatest reward right now with my work is just the ability to interact with so many different kinds of people, and the ideas they bring to what I'm doing is just fascinating to me. Whether it's someone from an athletic group or sneakerheads, to people that are fishermen and interested in that, or people that are interested in Los Angeles history. That kind of communication and back and forth is just, I love it.